Hi, I'm Summer. Today I want to talk about animals and healing. So I've grown up with animals, household animals, cats, dogs, guinea pigs, rabbits, and then I also grew up on my great grandfather's very small little farm, sort of a hobby farm, and we had sometimes we had pigs or cows, or we had a pony and chickens and all those kind of things. So I've always had animals in my life. But it wasn't until I learned Reiki in 2010 that I thought more about healing in animals. And since then, I've taken Animal Reiki, both 1 and 2, and the Master. My best Reiki healing experience ever for the classes that I've taken. There are some other non-Reiki classes that I like too, but that was my favorite um, Reiki classes. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Reiki, and I also believe I'm not just a Reiki person. I've got other frequencies too, which is why I use what I call the healing pulse. But we're going to do a little bit of Reiki. So my little Duncan, he loves Reiki. So there are some times when I am sitting on my couch here and I'm doing a session, because I actually do a lot of my sessions on my couch instead of going out to my tiny house office. Just because usually when I'm on my couch, I've got a dog here and a dog here, which is exactly what's going on right now. And I sort of like that because I feel that they lend me their strength and healing, to help with my sessions. But so there's been a couple times where, so we do the session and it's pretty common that Reiki doesn't come up during the session, but I always do it at the end, just to help fill in any voids and just really do what the divine wants to do. And so I'm like, sitting there going like this and beaming Reiki, and all of a sudden this little dog pokes up like right in between my hands wanting Reiki. So he's done that multiple times now. So I'm going to wake him up because he's sleeping. So this is Duncan. He's my little rescue guy from Texas. What do you... And he's sort of moaning and groaning. He's like 3.5. So what do you think, Duncan? Do you want some Reiki? So usually when I mention Reiki, he starts looking at me. Do you want some Reiki? You like Reiki, don't you? Oh, yes, there you go. So I'm just going to start. Usually I start with his head and watch, because eventually he'll quit licking and he'll just, come on now, quit licking. He'll just really, um, just, he'll just really just mellow out. And it's sort of a sudden. Okay, Duncan. He's still not quite settled yet, because usually he'll just be really super still. But I think there was something outside that distracted him, so it's going to be just a bit longer. Usually it's pretty immediate, where it's like, and he knows the word Reiki, don't you? You know Reiki. Yes. There it goes. You see the shift? Yeah, usually it's actually quicker. So with a session with Duncan, usually I work on the emotional things first, go through and release any emotional trauma. He has issues with separation anxiety, and he's gotten better with fireworks. But just this past week, I realized he had some emotional past life trauma that was causing some things to go on. So I'm really curious what happens with his separation anxiety and his issues with thunder, because he just really shakes and quakes. Um, and I feel so bad. But I found separation anxiety so far is the hardest thing for me to clear. Emotional things are pretty easy, but it's the layers and the things that you're not aware of. So I'm just observant this week because that was just a couple days ago that I worked on clearing that. Yeah, look at those eyes. So that is Duncan and Animal Reiki. Did you like that, Duncan? Oh, you did, didn't you? Yeah. So let me know if you have any questions. I am teaching Animal Reiki multiple times this year. I just taught it a few weeks ago. I will be teaching it probably in October. You do need at least the 1 and 2 human Reiki. You need to have taken that before you can take an animal Reiki class, which makes sense because there's a lot of the basics that are the same, and you will benefit from both. But as I said, I love the animal ones, but part of it's I'm just a little obsessed. Oh, baby. Oh, yes. Have a good day.
So you have reached the end of my video. Here is the reward. Valid until December 31st, 2023. $10 off a pet email session or $199 for a human and pet session on Zoom, which is not a regular offering. Book the pet email session or full integrated healing session and let me know you are taking advantage of the discount, and I will invoice you the lower rate.